Educational Communications and this station present Environmental Directions with Nancy Perlman. On this series, we explore the effects of human influence on the Earth's ecosystems and discuss solutions to environmental problems which affect the quality of life on this planet. Environmental Directions gives you the kind of information you need to help you participate in decisions impacting your community, the nation, and the world. Now, here's your host, Nancy Perlman.
Hello. We are going to be talking about making sustainable cookies, both nationally and internationally, and giving back to the environment and local communities with my guest, Daria Artem. She is founder and CEO of Lady Fortunes. She was formerly the owner of Artem PR and also a former business director of Alpha Pharmaceuticals. She is a member of many organizations, including the Calabasas Chamber of Commerce, the Women's Business Enterprise National Council, the National Association of Specialty Food Trade, and Whole Kosher Services. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
It's a pleasure being here, Nancy. How are you?
I am feeling great because I have just tasted some most incredible cookies from your company. I must say that they are absolutely delicious. And I was so thrilled to know that you have made them in a very sustainable way and that you give back to the community. Let's talk about first that giant chocolate dip fortune cookie that you call Chocolate Lovers. It was incredible, gigantic. It had a fortune cookie flavor, it had caramel, it had macadamia nuts. Tell me more about it.
That giant fortune cookie is the item that put us on the map over 20 years ago because we just celebrated our 20th birthday. And that cookie makes a statement. I mean, it's an amazing way to say anything you want in a truly gigantic and memorable way. We make everything by hand, by the way. Everything here is made by hand. We've resisted the temptation to automate our baking processes. We truly consider ourselves confectionery artisans. The cookies are made by hand in small batches. We make the batter. We bake them, dip them, we decorate them. They're smothered in chocolates and caramels. Everywhere we can, we make it in-house. So, for example, that luscious golden caramel was made in-house. We use real ingredients. It's just incredible. It really is delicious.
I can attest to the fact that they're delicious, but I like to know how sustainable the operation is and also how healthy the ingredients are. Let's begin with your facility since you described making them by hand. You have one in Southern California in the San Fernando Valley, but you have also opened up a factory in the United Arab Emirates. Are you making sure that you're using renewable energy? Are you making sure that the water is being conserved properly, that you're not putting waste into the system? How do you make sure that you are operating ecologically?
We do require all of our vendors to produce their products in a sustainable way. Our chocolate, for example, it's fair trade certified. That's a very important element. Our sugar, our flour, all of these things come from sustainable companies that follow sustainable practices. We buy as much American products as we can because we want to minimize our carbon footprint by using, for example, wheat imported from China. China is one of the biggest emitters of carbon dioxide, accounting for almost a third of the world's global emissions. So we have dedicated our past 4 years to sourcing American-made products. It's a very important thing. It comes from ingredients as well and also packaging. We've made a push to use packaging that's made from plants. So we use a company that makes cello bags made from polylactic acid, or commonly known as PLA. It's FDA approved for direct food contact. It's compostable, and it looks just like cellophane. So we definitely follow those types of practices. We also are very careful with food. Sometimes we produce over, and all of the food that is an overage, we don't throw anything away, especially with the food we produce. I mean, it's so delicious. How could you throw it away? And obviously, I don't want to weigh 500 pounds, so I can't eat it all by myself. So we make sure that we follow practices where we donate to local food banks. Children's Hunger Fund is another company company that we donate to, just to make sure that we are spreading some of that good fortune with our friends and neighbors, both here in the local community and also internationally.
I think when I tried the samples, I asked somebody if this will help me lose weight, and I think so.
Well, with Lady Fortunes, you do lose the weight because you don't have to wait forever in a day to get a customized cookie. You know, a lot of our competitors, because of the automation that they involve in their businesses, automation doesn't always translate to a quicker turnaround. With us, we turn products around very quickly. In most cases, if you place an order by noon Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern, we can ship it that same day. And everything we make is fresh. It's made to order. So it's really the best of the best.
How did the pandemic change your operation and obtaining ingredients?
The pandemic changed our operation dramatically because we had such a difficult time sourcing materials, both in ingredients and packaging, that normally we've never had an issue sourcing. And then we found out that it was due to so many factories overseas and across the border shutting down. So the pandemic really made us reevaluate our suppliers, and we've made a conscientious effort and push to purchase from vendors that not only sell American products but make it here as well.
The ingredients are important, but it's very hard for people making food products to have every item be organic. And it's not really necessary that it's certified organic. As you say, you want to be sure that your suppliers are operating in an ecological, sustainable manner, as well as your own facilities. How many ingredients do you use, and how many are organic?
So out of the ingredients that we use, we do have a few that are organic. And obviously when we have clients that are very particular about their ingredients, and some clients want all vegan or some clients want organic, we source those ingredients specifically to order. Some of the natural flavors that we use, they come with organic. So for example, lavender, that's one of our biggest selling macarons right now because we also make macarons, and our macarons are absolutely out of this world delicious. We use an organic lavender, and it's an American lavender. A lot of the lavender people think comes from France. It actually doesn't. A lot of the lavender on the market actually comes from China. A lot of things come from China. We really do our best to source California almonds. We use Blue Diamond, and that's California almonds, 100%. We make macarons for Disney. We make macarons for Star Wars. So it's important that we follow what we preach, and we do source as much organic, sustainable, and most importantly local, because we want to see those carbon emissions going down. We don't want to have products that has been brought here on a big tanker ship. All of this emits CO2 that depletes our ozone layer. That's not sustainable. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to source almonds from California or wheat from the Midwest.
It's great that you are making sure that your operations are very good for the environment, that your products help the local community. You have a facility outside of the United States. How many other places in the world do you plan to expand?
At this moment, I feel that keeping my feet planted here in the United States is the best way to go. We really want to brand ourselves as an American company, and countries from across the world, you're free to order. LadyFortunes.com.
Lady Fortunes also helps local charities such as the Children's Hunger Fund, Operation Gratitude. There's so many nonprofit organizations deserving of your support. How did you decide those?
I've always loved children. I didn't have the easiest childhood growing up, so for me, just knowing what's out there and how hard so many children have it. I have 2 kids of my own, and I spoil them rotten, and I'll be the first to admit that. And I feel like on the flip side of that, it's really difficult to explain to kids that grow up in a stable home that there's so many children in the world that go hungry and don't even know what a cookie is. It kind of dawned on me. We had some overage for a Christmas season one year. My son was about 6 years old, and it was January, and we decided to donate some cookies to a local food bank, but they were Christmas. We had Santa Clauses, we had some snowmen, we even had menorahs and dreidels because we do so much work with the Hanukkah cookies. And my son said, yeah, but they won't like them, Mommy. And I said, why? And he said, because Christmas and holidays are over. care. I had to explain to him how children aren't going to care because they probably didn't get to eat these kind of treats during the holidays. They love the taste of the cookies and they don't get to eat them every day. We found the Children's Hunger Fund because they are a local charity. They're also here in the San Fernando Valley. They're an amazing group of people. They afford people like me and family with kids the opportunity to come and pack care packages and to really just roll up your sleeves and not just talk about helping, but actually really step in and help. We've been so fortunate to be able to pack foods and care packages that go to countries like Guatemala, countries in Central America where kids don't get to eat.
Who does Operation Gratitude help?
So Operation Gratitude helps veterans, helps people in our military. We're military vendors, and especially pre-COVID, we were shipping quite a bit for U.S. Navy and other military organizations, and we found out about Operation Gratitude because they were literally just down the street from us. We were so happy to provide them with cookies because to our armed forces, I feel like we're not doing enough to show them how much we appreciate their service and in many cases giving the ultimate sacrifice. When people go into a situation where they're in a foreign country, they're putting themselves in danger to fight for our freedom. And I always tell my kids, freedom isn't free. My son wants to join the Air Force. I just really appreciate what our military community does.
I appreciate your making some great cookies, giving them away. I had some of your other cookies. I don't know the names of all your cookies. Perhaps you could tell us how many different varieties are available, because I certainly enjoyed the cookies. Many of your products are kosher, but you also produce private label products for companies from Macy's, Bloomingdale's, Neiman Marcus, Harry and David, many other companies, and you started producing your cookies in the Middle East, where you work with Warner Brothers World and Emirates Palace and many other companies there. How many different kinds of items do you provide everybody?
Well, if you go to our website, ladyfortunes.com, you're going to find almost 500 different items and a plethora of different options because, like I said, we make everything to order, no matter how large or small the order is. Our most popular products are going to be our chocolate-covered Oreo cookies. We also have cake pops, macarons, Rice Krispie treats, marshmallows. Kosher, by the way. All of our products are kosher. We make all of our marshmallow in-house with kosher bovine gelatin. And, you know, the gelatin is really important because most people don't understand that not all gelatin is equal. A lot of gelatin is imported from other countries where they use animals that we normally don't think of as food. I'm not going to gross you out by telling you what kind of animals go into there, but suffice it to say that our gelatin is kosher, it's halal, it's bovine, which means it comes from beef, and it's American beef. That's one of the reasons that we are kosher certified as well, because we feel that we answer to a higher standard. Our ingredients speak for themselves.
It sounds as though I can have a different cookie every day of the year.
Oh, absolutely.
You have introduced the concept of edible prints. What's that?
Edible prints are sugar paper, basically, and they're super fine, rolled, thin sugar paper, which we print on in edible color.
I love the idea of eating my paper. It doesn't go in the trash.
Exactly. What's more sustainable than that?
You already provide a variety of cookie products. Who comes up with the idea? Who creates them? And can I be a sample taster?
Absolutely, absolutely. We actually come up with these products because as a child I had very severe allergies, food and environmental, and I didn't get to eat anything. So now I'm compensating for it because anything I think up, from marshmallows to macarons to chocolate chip cookies and chocolate-covered pretzels, it's so much fun to be able to make all these different things. I have a degree in biochemistry, and I also had some training as a chef. I worked as a private chef when I was in college, so I love baking, I love cooking, I love doing all of those things, and most importantly of all, I love tasting. So if it doesn't pass my taste test, I'm not selling it. I'm not putting it out there.
You are a woman entrepreneur. Is it difficult to be a business owner in this industry when you are female, or are you pretty much accepted by the food trade industry?
As I always say, it's easy to get eaten up when you're in the cookie business. And I mean that in more ways than one. When I opened, it was kind of mind-boggling because so many people would just pass me up when they found out that I was the owner. They would make assumptions that my company wasn't serious or whatever else they assumed, especially because I was young and I was a female. It was very challenging in the beginning to the point that when I did trade shows, I portrayed myself as an employee of my company. When you're in this business, just having somebody give you that shot, that's one thing, but I feel that you win people's respect when you show them consistency, quality, and dependability. I've always been that company that would prefer to decline a purchase order if I feel that I won't be able to do it for whatever reasons. Really believe in living up to the expectations, not just that my clients have for us as a company, but also to my own, because I set that standard very high.
You have provided a wonderful model for other companies to provide food that we all enjoy, cookies, but you're doing it sustainably, you're doing it ecologically, you're helping the community. It's a wonderful model for other people to follow. I'd like to thank you so very much for your good work, your delicious products. Thank you for being my guest.
Well, thank you, Nancy. It's been a pleasure, and I'd love to come back and chat with you another time.
I'll have to try new cookies as we do so.
I will bring them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have been speaking with Daria Artem, who is founder and CEO of Lady Fortunes. I'm Nancy Perlman. Thank you very much for joining us, and do tune in again next week.
If you would like free information about these environmental issues, go to www.ecoprojects.org or call 310-559-9160. Environmental Directions with your host, Nancy Perlman, is a community affairs program of the nonprofit organization Educational Communications and this station.